What I'm looking to introduce this year is the use of components within Amazon Designs. The simple way to think about components, if you're not familiar with Figma, which is a design tool we primarily use, and components is a big term they use there, is essentially it's like Lego bricks. So when we think about our storefront, we have these modules that I believe is the Amazon terminology we use to kind of upload different parts of the storefront as we look to build that page. So you could have the header at the very top, and then you could even have kind of multiple different styles on the way down, whether that's these full banner ones or the more square ones, which are typically around 1500 by 1500 pixels. So what we're looking to do is, instead of giving you the full storefront, which we can obviously give you, if we take that cross off there, we can see an example of some of the full storefronts we're giving you, where you get a full page, let's say this one, or let's say this one here. You can see, whilst this is a full storefront, there's actually components sat within it. So that's what these little white gaps are for. So we've got a full component here. We then have a half component here because it's a square block, and then we might have a quarter component here because it's the square block then cut in half against a rectangle. And then finally, you might have a 1/8, if you like, because it's 1/8 of the full thing. That could be a simpler way of looking at it. Equally, then we could have a banner component. And the logic that I'm trying to apply here is, you might not necessarily want the full page. You actually want to build your own, and it's just going to be easier if we just give you the individual components. You can then open that up, copy it, come into Figma and paste that design and start to build different storefront pages or different A+ pages. So this is primarily focusing on those storefront and A+ environments where you're building structures. Equally, particularly good if we think about where the split testing that we want to do, we don't know which layout or which component is going to work best. So we might test individual components on something like Product Pinion and see which people find very readable, easy to understand, more likely to convert on, more likely to click, more likely to engage in. We could also use tools like Dragonfly AI to scan the different components that we've built to see where most of the attention is going to, and that can influence our decision making of, okay, so what component do we want to build? Then when we look to split test, we could build a few different variations based on Product Pinion data and upload that to Amazon. So we could go, right, we've got layout number 1, storefront page number 1. Let's test that for a period, see how that performs, or with A+ the same. Now let's go swap out just a component. So we're changing one thing at a time. Very similar to the recommendation with testing a set of carousel images for your main images. You wouldn't test all 6 at once, replace all 6, put a whole new 6 up, because that isn't a really fair test. What we might do is just test one at a time and then measure the results and make those small incremental changes, rather than we'll change everything and actually image number 5 in that carousel was putting a lot of weight and doing some good job, and we're going to miss out on that. Exactly the same logic applies here. Some of these could be pulling weight for you, increasing the conversion rate, and we want them in there. Others might not, so we don't want them in there. So it just allows you to be a lot more flexible. Intrigued to see what people's thoughts are on this. This is the logic I've kind of been building with our team for a while, and we're going to continuously use this kind of naming convention, I guess you could say, to break up. We've got the different content types, as you can see here. We've got the design tool. Primarily we're going to be building in Figma. Obviously with Canva we do have the videos there, and that's where we're building a lot of those sponsored brand video ads. Sometimes it takes a second to load just when you've got bad internet, but you can see some of these videos populating. And then the components basically is the kind of final piece there. Is it a full page you're getting, or is it just going to be a component you're getting? And we've got hundreds of these to upload. We're uploading them over time just to ensure we like them. And one of the other things we're going to look to do is also use some Product Pinion data and Dragonfly AI data just to check that we're actually happy with the impact that the templates are going to have. So is this too simple? Or is the shop now button not clear enough? Maybe that needs to be twice the size. That would be a test that you would do, but we figured we could remove that step by actually going and doing that test for you, So you don't need to then go run the test yourself. We've already done the work and can tell you that this button needs to be bigger. We would then go update the template to ensure it's a bigger button, and you can then, I guess, design with more confidence as well as more speed. And that hopefully means less drafts, less number of tests, quicker test turnarounds, and ultimately overall faster output to higher quality designs. Would love to hear people's feedback on this. Any thoughts? Please do go give AmzDesignKit a test. This is just one part of it, being the templates. We've got, as you can see here, about 290 odd templates now. We're adding more all the time, but obviously you've still got all the examples, the news, etc. features as well, which I've discussed at another time. Let me know your thoughts.